Right, so what are we? We're on the Columbia TriStar. No,
Yeah.
Columbia logo, because
Okay.
they then got taken over by TriStar and don't exist anymore.
All right. What we're doing is it's going to be an alternate commentary for
An unaltered commentary.
an alternate commentary for Ghostbusters, the first Ghostbusters film. Bring your DVD up to the point just as the Columbia logo has appeared on the screen.
The woman standing there with the thing, and you're about to get that really cool spooky music.
Yeah, and when we say, just hit play on your machine, and you'll be able to hear.
Okay, we're going to do a countdown. Should we do a countdown?
Yeah, all right.
Is that a bit lame? It doesn't matter, you've got a backup. This is all going to be on the thing.
I'm sorry, I'm dicking around the thing. Right, okay, bring it up to the Columbia logo, and we'll do the alternate commentary. Okay, so.
You ready?
Yeah, we're just going to be waffling over the top
3,
of this. What we say isn't going to necessarily be in regards to what's
1.
appearing on screen. But, alright, go.
Play. Is that playing? No,
I don't know.
play.
It's playing.
It's near enough. It'll be out by a frame, maybe 2.
I miss these grainy old introduction things.
Yeah.
They
I
don't
must admit, nothing has grain on it anymore. I heard a story that they were actually adding that to modern movies now because they look too clean.
Well, I think the main problem with modern movies is the fact that there's too many of them. You've got to wait through about 5 of these logos before you actually get to the movie itself. It's like waiting through the trailers.
Like New York Public Library.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Have you?
Yeah, my friends and me ran down the staircase, around the steps outside, in reference to this, waving our arms and looking scared.
Were you being filmed?
No.
No.
What are you pointing at?
Interesting dress in the back.
Was there? I missed that.
Interesting dress.
Interesting.
Are you gonna?
80s dress?
Who's gonna introduce Helen? We've got an extra voice. A voice from.
It's late for
from
that.
beyond the grave.
There is a third voice in amongst
Rude
it.
finger gestures that I'm getting. I understand.
This
Helen, the living, breathing Batmanopedia.
This opening bit always scared the crap out of me as a kid.
Whole film scared the crap out of me as a kid.
No,
That
but
was
it was this bit specific.
Yeah.
This bit and later on Slimer.
Pointless factoid, because this is what we do.
Yeah.
Pointless factoid. The ghost version of Librarian is actually a leftover effect from Poltergeist.
Is
which
it?
is one of the reasons why it's so goddamn frightening.
I think all of the ghosts in this are a lot more frightening than in the sequel. In the sequel, they go a lot goofier.
I was
with
about to
everything.
say, like the first film, yeah, because the sequel was done after the TV series, after the animated series.
So it was more
whereas
for the
this
kids.
was done, the horror is done straight.
Yeah,
It's them that's funny.
it's
Their way of dealing with it is
Well,
funny.
it's
The
because
ghosts are real. Like, they're done dead straight.
yeah. The comedy comes from the fact that they're out of their depth.
Yeah, and the fact that they say stupid, brilliant lines. I'm so glad that we're watching it in the full widescreen as well. Because, like, the TV version, when it's cut down, you don't get Ray's reactions in this sequence with the library.
Yeah, it's always it's focused on Pete.
Yeah, you know, when, like, the bookcase falls and stuff, and, like, Ray does those wonderful, like, nods.
And then shakes his
Yeah.
head. All you see in the cropped down version
It's
is
just
Pete turning
Pete,
back
yeah,
and forth.
and it annoys me. Also, as far as I'm aware, the only comedy ever filmed in full 235 widescreen.
I mean, in the past you
Which is
didn't
pointless.
really.
Burn in hell. Venkman, yeah. A couple of wavy lines.
I feel so bad for this guy.
I know. It is actually a star. Oh, you didn't tell me you were going to give me electric shocks.
This actually made me hate the character Pete Venkman for a long time.
Well, he's a dick.
I know he's meant to be
massive jerk.
I know he's meant to be that dude, but I mean, he's sort of portrayed as the hero throughout this. He's not really.
Is this like a cold spot? What is this?
Are you actually breathing cold over there? You wanted to record in here.
It's atmospheric.
We are in a slightly cool room at the moment. So if you hear chattering of teeth, it's
It's cool on many levels. Temperature just being one of them. The thing that I love about this, like, is the fact that the experiment does actually work.
Yeah,
Because they're testing negative reinforcement on it, And like the more times he electrocutes him, the more accurate with his predictions he gets. But because he's just trying to get the girl,
he ignores the results.
it's brilliant.
You found something literally amazing, and you're ignoring it.
Yeah, because she's
you
cute.
want the blonde.
And that's about it.
You tool, Venkman.
Is it weird that he kind of looks older in these films than he does now?
He does.
It's really weird.
I think it's just the way he does his hair.
A couple of wavy lines.
Yeah.
This is not your day.
I think the receding hairline actually makes you look older than if you've actually got no hair, which is weird.
Yeah, that's true.
You prick.
Oh, wait, I'm tired of this. You know what we were doing? We were paying you, right? Yeah, I know you're giving me electric shocks.
What are you trying
There's only
to prove?
75 more to go. I love that. 75, he'll be like a vegetable by the time you finish. You can keep the $5 I've had. $5 to get like 100 electric shocks.
Well, you know, he's a student. He's a student.
The kind of reaction that your ability is going to promote in people.
I'm actually with the dean on the approach to this department.
Oh yeah, completely. Yeah.
I'm on the dean's
This is
side.
it, Pete. This is definitely it. We've got these UV lenses. And then the whole bit about the free-floating torso apparition thing.
Yeah, who gave all these ghosts these classifications? It was him, wasn't it? He basically wrote them down
It's
himself.
all Dan Aykroyd, yeah, because he's just like a massive freak for anything.
No, I mean the characters in this, they refer to them like they're...
but like...
We know Dan Aykroyd's a fan of the paranormal and stuff. He never made it all up, but the fact he's dancing around as though it's a...
free-floating, vaporous apparition. He blew books off shelves from 20 feet away and scared the socks of some poor librarian. It's really good. I want you to go down there and check it out. Now you're coming with us on this one, Pete.
You just quoted the entire film.
I am just quoting the film. We don't need the sound. It's how we get around copyright. I'll just do the script, and then it's okay. There's a really good Tumblr account called Breakfast at Ralph's.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, the guy just posts like awesome photos that he finds from all over the internet and stuff. And he's got some beautiful sort of behind the scenes photos from Ghostbusters that crop up every now and then. They're really awesome. There's a wicked one that I found with all three of them like just sat on the bonnet of Ecto 1 outside like one of the locations. It's just so cool. Oh, this reminds me of that time you tried to drill a hole through your head.
Oh, someone did, on DeviantArt, someone's done an excellent picture of this.
Yeah.
Of that incident. Where was it Pete or Ray's trying to stop Egon from drilling a hole in his head?
Oh wow! What are you pointing at? You keep spotting things because we're not watching it. We've seen it too many times. I'm so not paying attention. What have you seen?
Some of the dresses, some of the way they've dressed some of the extras at the back, it's really fucking weird.
Well, you say that it's the 70s,
80s,
80s,
even for the 80s, it's
late
fucking
70s,
weird.
early 80s.
When was this made?
It's the 80s.
I know it's the 80s.
But it's America, so they're a decade behind.
Really?
If the film looks like it's in the 70s, then it was made in the 80s. These are the rules. And if it looks because if you look at Friends, it was made in the 90s, but it looks like the 80s.
The early Friends episodes do. They still have the really big 80s hair. Actually, was Friends the 90s, or was that the...
It started in the 90s and then just kept going.
Yeah, it kept going. It went ages and ages, but...
Going.
When
and
did
Rachel,
it start?
And Rachel and... What's his face? The giraffe.
Yeah. But no, it's just...
Nearly got
I always think
together,
Rachel had this massive sort of early 90s, 80s hair.
Yeah.
At the start.
Naties.
Naties. That sounds like an affliction.
Well, it kind of is.
I so want one of those PKE.
So when they pop up in They Live.
What, the PKE meters?
Yeah, the aliens have them in They Live.
They just recycled the prop.
Yeah, they're the exact same prop. They had them left over and they use them as communicators.
Oh god, yeah,
it's brilliant. They pop up and they got the little things with the lights on.
It's just
PKE meters.
You know those replicas that Mattel did.
Yeah,
I was after
like the toys. Yeah,
they did those. They did the traps. They did everything.
Oh,
and I was desperate to get my hands on one of them.
You'd have loved it. We went to the Cardiff Comic Con, and there was a guy who had like a film accurate Ghostbusters outfit, and the thing that really topped it off is he smoked. So he was just outside having a cigarette in full costume with all the lights on the back of it going and everything. I was like, dude, that's perfect.
That is what makes the Ghostbusters. That's what's missing from mine. I don't smoke.
I'm not a smoker. I don't smoke. But like, there's something about the first film and the way they use cigarettes and how it enhances the.
I mean, in the second film, you've got Ray with a cigar when they're hosing down the Statue of Liberty. But that's it.
I kind of wanted to write a paper while I was at uni on like how films changed their attitude towards smoking and use these films because they're only like a couple of years apart. But like the fact that
the tone had completely changed.
Everybody smokes in the first film. Everyone.
It's because it had become a family film. This is a horror film with comedy in it.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. The look.
Ever happened to you before? What? You're allowed to speak. It probably won't pick you up anyway. It barely picks me up. What are you saying?
Just reminds me of a computer game I've played recently.
Which was?
Oh yeah, of course.
Don't leave us in the dark.
Well,
plug away. Could have perhaps been a game that you worked on.
Yes.
Potentially.
Oh, right.
I don't know if my opinions want to be associated with that, though, because some of the things that we say on these.
All right, we'll skirt around it. There we go. So this is from Poltergeist.
Yeah. Right, that's why she said
that says a lot.
Scary, yeah. It was like an unused effect. They built the puppet and everything, and then never used it.
So what do we do? We've found one.
I know, it's such a brilliant thing, isn't it? It's like the whole point was finding a ghost.
Now we've got one.
Nobody's ever thought of what the hell we do with it.
Shows how much faith they had in their own operation.
Come here. It's like when like friends and stuff do like a text.
Stop that!
Yeah, a texting. I always do that and no one ever gets it. Everyone's like, what?
They just think you're going off on one.
Stop then! And they just look at you and it's like, oh, it's such a great reference.
Actually, my entire family does this. So we all quote movie films and stuff. And
movie films?
Well, movie films. Yeah, movie films. We all quote from movies. And everyone thinks that we're really funny, and we're not. We're just plagiarising.
Yeah, that's like that got me through like high school. It's like, man, you're quite a funny guy. So, yeah.
An encyclopedic knowledge of film.
Yeah, because I watched films. I didn't go out drinking White Lightning, smoking behind the bike sheds.
This bit scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
No, the second one. I was saying to Helen the other day, like the second one, when we got it on, like I rented it from the video shop, and I got as far as the bit with the heads on spikes in the railway station.
Oh yeah.
And I was done. I was like, I can't watch this. It was like, it's so scary.
But that was one of the bits that always got cut out when they showed it on telly.
Yeah, because it's horrific. It's really horrific.
I hate TV edits.
We should do Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh,
because the unedited version of that is terrifying.
Brilliant. Well, I mean, the tail end of it is...
There's loads of stuff earlier on as well.
Not as much as at the tail end of it. I mean, there's bits in the crypt, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the whole crypt bit's like, what?
Yeah, discussing the pseudoscience of Ghostbusters. I love that, actually. I love the fact that they came up with all this tech and stuff based around it.
Back in the day, they used to write films.
Yeah.
They used to write it.
They used
Instead
to think
of just
about what they were doing.
Oh, we'll have a bunch of actors and some special effects and then we'll try and staple a story to it later.
Yeah, the Michael Bay approach.
Yeah.
Fucking Michael Bay. I'm on your side, Dean. Kick them out. They're useless.
Yeah. And they'll do better anyway once they're out there in the real world. My parents left me that house. It's okay. Everybody has 3 mortgages these days.
Peter's the biggest bullshit merchant on the planet.
Well, that's the whole point of his character, isn't it? He's the businessman.
Well, I mean,
he's wasted in the university because he's businessman. That's what he does.
It's as the Dean describes. He's a hustler.
Yeah.
He rips people off. He's a con man. Does he even have a real doctorate?
Game show host. Do you know, weirdly, I can never ask...
Well, you say that.
It is on the door at the beginning.
Or did he set it up himself?
When it pans down the door at the beginning, it's got Doctor, and it is all of them.
Yeah.
Dr. Egon Spengler. I collect spores, molds, and fungus.
I'm just thinking... when I first saw this film, all of the adult humour obviously went straight over my head. I didn't understand any of it. I just thought it was a scary but funny film.
Have you rewatched it with an adult mind recently?
Oh yeah, there's so much in
the bit on the rooftop where they actually take down Gozer. Like, it's line after line, like the whole when they prep the wand.
Yes, it's nothing but that. Yeah,
it's rank. It's like, this is film.
It's not the kind of thing you say in company. Like, I mean, as a kid, I didn't get what they were drinking here. I was thinking, what are you drinking?
It looks like cough syrup. Yeah, it looks like cough syrup. Might be, actually. There was a whole thing in the 80s for that. Spooky wind sounds.
Yeah, as I say, we are filming this in a drafty room, just in case it is picking up any wind noises. It'll add to the ambience.
Ambience. The defense franchise.
Yeah, he's talking about franchise. This is why I'm thinking we should become Ghostbusters. Just buy into the franchise. We could do that.
Yeah, it's not real, right?
Oh.
But like, they did a role play. There's a role play book for it, like a set of rules, and it's set up like that, so you can play it anywhere because you just become a franchise. Yeah, that's how it works, which is genius.
It's something I really want.
A couple of my friends did it, and they had like the Cardiff version.
Well, I think that's something I want to do. I just basically want to draw myself as a Ghostbuster. I think I've already told you about this. I want to draw myself riding around on an Ecto 1 scooter. Actually, no, it wouldn't be Ecto 1. Ecto 0.5
or something. Yeah. Ecto -1. Oh, and I got cobwebs all over me.
But you decorated the place with cobwebs.
Shut up.
Halloween obsessed.
I like Halloween. It's like Christmas for me. I love it.
You're in the wrong country.
I am. I really am.
You so want to be an American.
If I could live in New England, I would. I'd just go there for one month a year. This is where the tone of the film actually changes. It actually becomes more horrific from this point onwards. Partly because it's about the end of the world.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be a standalone film.
But I mean, they actually do. I think it's actually just the music which makes it tonally different.
Oh god, yeah. The score's phenomenal. Remember who did it now? Annoying me. Bernard Shaw.
I honestly can't remember.
Possibly. Somebody's going to hang me out to dry for that now.
Well, I mean, I'm a fan of soundtracks and stuff, but I don't know myself.
I'm reaching for the box. It's going to have things, credit things.
Lois Tully, quite possibly the most annoying human being.
Elmer Bernstein. See, look how way off I was.
Elmer Bernstein. I don't even know that name.
He also did Heavy Metal, which was also written and directed by Harold Ramis.
He did the Heavy Metal film?
Yeah.
As in the one based on the comic?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
I didn't know
the soundtrack's awesome.
Well, it's actually the director I was surprised by. I didn't know he directed that.
Yeah. Harold Ramis. Egon Spengler.
Does Sigourney Weaver just not age?
I don't know, she looks a bit rough in the latest thing with Simon Pegg. She looks a little...
What, in Paul?
Yeah.
She was in that...
This is the best she's ever looked. This and Galaxy Quest.
Yes.
She looks really hot in this, and Galaxy Quest. She looks kind of weird and skanky in Aliens. Yeah. Well,
she's meant to in Aliens. What does she work as? She works as a salvage operator.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and
then there's a glorified dock worker.
And the only guy who ever sort of sleeps with her is a prisoner who hasn't seen a woman in about 50 years. Oh God, you'll do. Everything's in the right place. You'll do.
It's a really naff-looking apartment.
2 arms, 2 legs.
I don't remember much about 80s decoration, but that department...
The thing that's interesting, as you say, like, this film's done like a straight horror film.
Yeah.
Is if you ever watch The Entity... Have you ever seen The Entity?
I've half watched it. Again, that was ages ago.
It's like a really dead straight 80s horror movie.
It's about a woman that keeps getting attacked by a poltergeist.
Yeah. But the format and the structure is Ghostbusters.
Just even more straight-faced.
Yeah, there's this woman living... Stay Puft Marshmallow.
You'll know this. How did they do that? I can't remember.
It's a hot plate.
They heated the thing up.
The top, yeah.
But how did they make the things pop? Is it just heating up an egg? It does that.
I don't know. But I know that there is actually a hot plate under there. So
well, I mean, that's obviously the only
when they land on it.
Obviously, the only way they could
but
do
other
that.
Than that, I have no idea. Like the entities basically this, like the woman gets sort of like attacked by ghosts and everything, and then these scientific types come in to kind of help her out, and they are basically the Ghostbusters, like them before they get the proton packs and all that stuff.
You see, I didn't know how the problem was solved in the entity.
You don't think it's too subtle, do you, Marty? You don't think people are going to drive by and not see the sign?
I actually can't.
Too random.
Is he being ironic there or not?
Well, yeah. Because I mean, later when you see it, they've got the big plastic, moulded Ghostbuster thing. So he's obviously like, it is way too subtle. We need to be like way more like that. Yeah. Because we need to buy a hearse with flashing lights. And
he didn't set out to buy the hearse. It was Ray.
No, I know that. I'm just saying, it's like to tell you what will be,
how much did it cost? How much?
Only $4,800.
Ghostbusters, what do you want?
Yeah, this is another bit.
You mean Malnets?
There's another bit where it's cut off when you got the cropped down version.
Yeah,
it's when Dana comes in.
Yeah,
and then you see his head just pop up like a meerkat in the background.
So Ray checks her out when she walks past as well.
You see that?
He's working on the car and he's like.
You see that bit, but you don't see him pop up like a meerkat, which is arguably funny.
Did you know that actually happened? The car thing. Dan Aykroyd literally just turned up with that.
What, the hearse?
Yeah, he won it because he's nuts on like old cars. He went out and bought it and was like,
no one knew.
We're gonna do.
And that's just how Ecto 1 came to
I think
be.
so, yeah.
I didn't know.
I know he bought it. I don't know if anybody knew he was going to do it or not. But yeah, apparently.
It seems like a fairly big thing to just chuck in last minute.
But he bought it. It's his car, or it was at the time. It's awesome. I could bore you to death with facts about that thing because I really
the
wanted
hearse?
one. Yeah.
Oh, you're the same as me then. I wanted one, but I don't know anything about them.
I really want one, but yeah.
I mean, as a kid, I was always saying when I finally learn to drive, I'm going to get myself a hearse.
They have air sprung suspension so that you could actually do stuff to patients in the back while it was cruising along, like most ambulances.
See, meerkat. That bit was cut off.
I know, it's awesome, isn't it? He nearly went on that. Yeah, he nearly.
Do you think they would have left that in if he had
face planted the pavement? Yeah.
Had he sprung up and gone on with his lines? Yes, they would have kept it in.
He just cut away, didn't he? He just cut back to him getting up. I swear to God, it's the same fire station in Big Trouble in Little China.
It can't be. That's in Chicago. That's in San Francisco.
Is it though?
They wouldn't have filmed.
You don't know that.
They really wouldn't have filmed on two coasts.
But you never really see much of the city anyway, enough to... No, there's a few establishing shots, but you don't know.
What is filmed on the East Coast in America? It would be cheaper to film in California than it would be in New York.
But it looks identical. It's got the same colour brickwork and everything.
They'll have had more than one firehouse in America.
There's only one.
There's only one that's worth a damn,
yeah. Did you know they actually have the Ghostbusters symbol on their logo?
Who?
For the fire department.
Is that still an active fire station?
Yeah. Hook and Ladder 8.
And they've got the Ghostbusters.
If you look them up, yeah, it's like because all the departments have their own logos. They've got a ghost on the logo.
You'd have to do that. It'd be a crime if you didn't.
There's loads of other stuff. They've got the sign from Ghostbusters 2. It's up on the wall inside the firehouse. It's absolutely awesome. I think it's got the big logos on the pavement outside as well, actually. They had it all put in on the brickwork and stuff. It's super cool.
If something's going to happen, I want it to happen to me first.
That's the bedroom, but nothing ever happened in there.
What a crime. We know this movie
You're not
too
like a scientist. You're more like a game show host. Oh, they hate this.
I mean, if I was Dana, I would have thrown him out by now.
Yeah, it was like I'm watching it with the sound off, but if you listen to the soundtrack for this bit, it's really odd. It's really weird.
Do
they make the whole thing seem really strange. The underlying music for it does not go with it at all, but it's. You just know it's designed not to.
Well, because it's got that comedy element to it, and then it's got the sinister music in the background.
It's a really weird bit of music.
I can't. It's a particular type of instrument that does that. It's that one that based on electrical waves coming off a cord or something, isn't it? You know, you move. I forgot what it's called.
She's the musical one.
You know, basically it's two sort of chrome type rods, and you interrupt the wave going between the two with your hand, and depending on where your hand goes, it changes the pitch of noise. I can't remember what it's called. It's got a name. Forget it.
A spaceophone.
Yeah, that'll do.
Here we go. That works. We'll call it that. See, these are the eggs.
Yeah.
No shit. Have a little poke around with the thing.
What is he? He's taking air samples or something.
I don't know. He doesn't know.
He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't know himself really. What is that thing you're doing? It's technical.
Yeah, it's one of our little toys.
I don't know. Egon made it.
Yes. It's a genuine piece of scientific equipment. I've seen those. But I don't know what it does.
It takes air samples.
Fishing?
Yes, fishing for monsters. My God, look at all the junk food. Look at all the product placement.
Yeah.
And all the Coke cans to face out.
I don't know. Do you think it was product placement and they refer to it as junk food?
Yeah.
Is that a bogey cam underneath?
It could potentially be. I can't wind back because it will screw people's synchronisation out. I'm not sure, but I'm sure there aren't any monsters in here. Oh great, that makes me feel a whole lot better.
I miss 80s packaging. Come on, old Coke cans just had so much more charm to them than they do.
Yeah, it's true. It is true.
And it's not just nostalgia, there's just something about its simplicity.
Perrier as well. Perrier.
The water.
Perrier. I come home from my job and there's nothing else in my life.
That reeks a bit too much of
you?
a set. It gets blown up later on, so we know it's a set, but it just feels too much like a set.
It does feel like a something left over from a sitcom, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Joey to walk in, isn't it?
Followed by applause.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Joey. Ghostbusters filmed in front of a live studio audience. That'd be awesome. I love it in the second one where he's doing like this. What is it? Venkman's World of the Psychic.
Oh yeah.
That's one of my two favourite shows. Oh yeah, what's the other one? Bassmasters. It's a fishing show.
Yeah, I know Bassmasters.
Yeah, I know. You sad, sad bastards.
We grew up on this show. Come on.
It did actually. This film was like a religion to me. I actually wanted to do psychology at one point just so I could do parapsychology.
Yeah, I mean, this whole thing got me into the weird and the paranormal.
Yeah, completely. Because it looks like a lot of fun.
There's a big film. Yeah, so this is a really big film from the childhood.
We should take her out for dinner, you know. I'll take some money out of petty cash. This fantastic banquet represents the last of the petty cash.
Chew your food.
Dear God, we are sad.
Well,
it's not a commentary. That's just saying the lines to the film while we watch it is not a commentary. It's not anything. Anyway, she becomes more outlandish by the second one.
Yeah, I don't understand why she went off the map.
She becomes the cartoon in the second one.
Yeah.
I think the second one's designed to follow on from the cartoon because it became for kids. And all the kids loved it and everything.
The cartoon series follows on from... The cartoon series...
Because of things like that.
The Ecto one. The cartoon series follows on directly from this film. Because they've actually got an episode which refers to when they take on Gozer.
Yeah.
And that's why Slimer appears.
Yeah, Gozer reappears in the cartoon, I think.
Sheer disbelief that they've actually got a call.
Yeah.
We got one!
I tell you what,
sorry. You know the Last Exit to Nowhere, do you know what they've got? They've got a...
the t-shirt company?
Yeah, you know, the Last Exit to Nowhere. They've got that, is it the... They've got a Cedric Hotel t-shirt.
Oh yes, it glows in the dark.
I know.
That was
like,
oh God. That was on my list of things to get. I actually
beautiful. Have you seen the Gotham Travel building outside? Love that. Love it. As it pans down, there's a building out the back right corner. It says Gotham Travel.
Why would you call these people? These complete unknown people.
They're desperate. Have you seen the cut scene where Slimer first appears?
No.
I think it's on this DVD, actually. We should have a look later.
What happens?
It's absolutely awesome. It's like he basically attacks a couple in their hotel room. I think it might even be their wedding night.
That does sound a bit horrific, actually.
It's really horrible.
I mean, Slimer...
There's like all this glowing green shit happening in this room.
Yeah.
You don't see him, I don't think.
I mean, Slimer in this is genuinely quite a scary creature.
I prefer him in the first one. He looks much weirder.
Well, he's just the way
And
he
they
acts.
cartooned him
It's the audio that goes with him.
Yeah,
so
he's
like
really
this sort
kind
of this psychotic sort of panting that goes.
Yeah. I always thought he was like the ghost of an animal. I never thought he was the ghost of a human.
Well,
because there's something about these sort of beast-like noises and the way he behaves.
It feels more like... I like the way the ghosts in this are a lot more abstract than they are in Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah.
They actually feel more like scary monsters. It's like the cab driver that appears when all the ghosts start to escape. He's a zombie.
Yeah.
He's a zombie.
Absolutely
It's
horrendous.
really scary.
Like a zombie version of Travis Bickle.
No smoking, and they've got particle accelerators.
Just back away. I feel bad that we didn't have time to properly bench test this equipment. I blame myself. Me too. He's nonchalantly walking out. Doesn't give a shit.
He doesn't believe he's going to see a damn thing. He still doesn't believe in ghosts.
I know,
he's seen one.
There's nothing scares him. I love it.
Nothing's going to hurt.
Have you played the game of this? It's absolutely
yes,
stunning.
I have played it right.
You go back to the Sedgwick Hotel. It's just phenomenal.
It's closed or something, isn't it? For renovations, I don't know.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
What the hell are you doing?
Successful test? Yeah, I think so. We better split up, and we do more damage that way.
Even as a kid, after seeing what that did to that, I'd stopped wanting a proton pack. I wouldn't have fired a proton pack because I didn't like the idea of burning everything.
Such a big girl.
What? No!
90%.
90% of my personal property is paperwork.
We didn't fire it in your house, you retard.
See the cigarettes again.
I know, exactly.
These guys
look at that. Stuck to his lip. It's acting genius.
These guys are just blue-collar workers, really,
well,
aren't
that's
they?
the whole point.
Yeah.
It's like, there's something about that makes like characters acceptable. Slightly off on a tangent. Green Lantern. On Green Lantern, I was thinking about that whole
Do we
thing.
really have to talk about Green Lantern?
Yeah, exactly. But like, I was thinking about that whole thing the other day. It's like things like Harry Potter and Star Wars and this as well. Like, you start off with characters that are nobodies that become somebody. Because that's how you get people to engage with it.
Well, I mean,
but like the Green Lantern thing, it's like, oh, he's like $1 billion fighter pilot.
He's a
like, test pilot for like the military. So he's Mr. Awesome before he becomes Mr. Awesomer.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't like you right from the off.
Well,
I can't connect with it.
Well, Green Lantern's crap right from the start. I mean,
there's so many things wrong with it. This isn't going to turn into a rant on why.
If you've got this insanely long prologue, that involves a floating space head.
Well, yeah. That's it. It's like I remember.
This bit here, scariest bit in Ghostbusters is this bit. Just the face
it's not, man. The dogs.
The face.
Dogs on the rooftop.
The face-off between him and Slime, because it comes out at the screen and the audio that goes with it. See, that's the scariest fucking thing I remember from my childhood. Just what happened to him.
It was the devil dogs that did me. I couldn't deal with those at all. Like popping out of the statues, just. Because they're off the chain scary.
They're proper
like
horror.
The design of those, you're just like, what the hell is that?
I think there's actually something psychological about this, because you see this thing charging towards Venkman, and then it cuts away. You hear him screaming over the radio, and you're thinking, Jesus Christ, what's happened to him?
They're horror tropes. It's what you were talking about before. It's done like a straight movie.
And then it turns out, he's fine.
He's
just got a slime.
Hair gel or something on him.
He slimed me.
I feel so funky. The flowers are still standing. It's like I just randomly going back to the Green Lantern. It was like one of the first things I was taught when I started writing was you introduce people to your character before you introduce them to the world, because no one gives a shit about a world.
Well, the character's the vehicle through the world.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't, if you've got like 20 minutes at the beginning of your film explaining like why some aliens fought some other aliens in a distant galaxy on a giant planet, with all this other stuff going on.
That's the story that's told through the character's eyes. You view that,
but you do that later, after you've introduced your sympathetic characters. They have a character that's completely unsympathetic. They introduce after the 20 minutes of complete bullshit spiel. That I just... Oh man, it's just how not to make a movie.
I mean, I don't mind a prologue. Often a prologue...
Oh, don't cross the streams, dude.
Why?
It would be bad.
How many iconic lines are there in this film?
Dozens.
He slimed me, don't cross the streams.
Yeah. A notice that should be in every men's room.
In the women's.
Well, and there's the level. Thanks for that, Helen. Oh, look at him drinking and it comes out the
Why
other side.
is he doing that? Anyway, it's passing straight through him.
Oh, a ghost.
That's the one bit where he looks a bit like a Muppet, where he sort of does that double take and he sees...
Yeah, and you can kind of see the bit underneath where the hand goes in. Yeah. Still, though, awesome.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Nice shooting, Tech.
He's taking out half the building.
Who did the effects for this? Was it ILM or Disney? Because Disney used to do a lot of this animated
I couldn't tell you. I mean, if it's in the 80s, it'd probably ILM.
Hard to say.
Well, they'd really become a big name by then.
Yeah. So Disney used to get all those jobs because they were the only sort of big studio that had full-time animators to do that kind of stuff.
They pioneered a whole heap of stuff to start with, but then Lucas came along.
The flowers are still standing. I love the way they fumble their lines in this as well. It feels so natural, like because he says "wait for my go single" as opposed to "signal," and I think that's lovely because it feels so much more like it's actually happening.
The thing is, I didn't actually notice it even.
Venkman, shorten your stream. I don't want my face burned off. I actually got that and then you spot on.
They never explain why you shouldn't look at the trap. Is it because it's bright?
I think it's just because it's bright. Yeah, so it's probably not that good for your eyes. This is really hard to do in the game. Actually, catching ghosts is difficult, which I thought was really nice. It isn't just press A and catch a ghost. It's like you have to grab them and then smash them into stuff.
Yeah, basically it's an excuse to trash the room that you're in.
It's an excuse. They've given you like a nuclear accelerator thing that fires out a massive beam of light. You're rustling around under your Jedi cover.
You're right under your duvet. Are you cold?
Are you warm enough? I'm alright. Even though I can see my breath.
I can't see
it. Weird. I can see yours. Sometimes when you speak, you get a little...
How come I'm sitting here in a t-shirt and you guys are all wrapped up?
I'm not that wrapped up. I'm actually quite warm. I could lose a layer. Helen runs cold, though. She's always cold.
I love the way they...
pulling faces. You can speak, you know.
I love the way they rip him off. They completely rip him off. Egon's giving him hands.
Telling him how much money they need for these things. But like, I love the way they just change it for whoever can afford it.
Yeah. Because it's a hotel.
Because you see him like helping out, like, you know, people in little rundown apartments in the montage sequence, and you know they're like either doing it for free or like
they get paid with the duck.
Yeah,
they get paid with the fried duck.
Yeah, they get the fried duck, don't they? And it's because they help out the Chinese family. Racist.
Actually, this is the montage, isn't it?
Yeah, this is it. I think that guy in the background's like a sound man or something, I remember. He used to tell a story about a spectral locomotive that would rocket past the farm where she grew up. Cue music, go montage. The montage is made up of a load of stuff that they cut from the film. So the whole bit with like where he's like dreaming he's Napoleon and
I remember hearing that bit was sort of...
I remember watching that as a kid and going, why would she be taking his pants off?
Yeah, that's another... another example.
As a child, you're just like, eh.
Yeah, you don't pay attention.
Apparently there's a whole bit where they went to like a castle and everything. There's a whole sequence.
Well, there's a castle in Central Park, isn't there? Or a faux...
There's everything in Central Park. The proton packs are so cool. Fair play.
I do want one.
You can get the proper, like I say, you can get the proper film replica ones that do all the lights and everything. It all cycles, right?
Yeah, you can get proper replicas like $1,000 off eBay. Yeah. Or I'll probably try and build one myself at some point.
Oh, they're so good.
You can get the plans and stuff online. I'll build a foam one or something.
You've got the money. Just buy one.
I don't. The money just...
Yeah, you do. You bought one of those, like...
Yeah, that was when I had two. That was when I had 2 jobs.
Well, I suppose in fairness, like you wouldn't have any money now because you bought one of those.
Yeah, do I buy a car or do I buy a ray gun? Priorities.
How much did that cost? Anyway, do I even want to know?
Obscene amounts of money.
You're an idiot.
Because I had to pay for that, and then I had to pay for the import tax and the shipping.
Oh, we go. The ghost blowjob.
And of course, as a kid, you don't get any of that.
No, I don't. It's just like straight over my head.
You might just find it vaguely funny.
I'm a little confused now.
Yeah. What's going on here? Why is he doing that?
Yeah. Just never made the connection at all.
Well, I mean, they keep going on about films and stuff. Oh, here we go.
Oh, well, films corrupting people.
Films corrupting people. No,
because I just didn't understand until I was older, and I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Dirty bastards.
This incredibly long list of paranormal stuff.
You live in ESP, astral projection, in the lost city of Atlantis.
If there's a steady paycheck involved, I'll believe whatever you say. That's kind of like my ethos to life.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how you do it. Now, I remember hearing an interview with a famous writer once. I can't remember who it was. They were interviewing him on the radio, and they were like, "How do you get motivated to like write your books and stuff?" And he was like, "Basically, I get the gas bill and put it next to the typewriter." I was like, "That's brilliant."
They just sound so run down here when they introduce
the 2 more free
like it's become a real job.
Yeah, it's like
the joy is over. This is just daily routine now. And the fact that something so outlandish is catching.
I always wonder, is this the musician that she ended up with between the films?
I think it is.
Oscar's dad.
Yeah. I mean,
I think it'd be great if they did the 4th one, and because Pete Venkman wants to be written out, doesn't he? Wants to die in the first reel or whatever.
Does he?
Yeah. I think it'd be lovely if Oscar was like the guy who took his place. I think that would be awesome.
How old would he be now? Because
Well, Oscar?
Yeah, well,
like our age.
Would he? No, he wouldn't. He was born in the late 80s.
Yeah, he wouldn't be much younger than us.
Yeah.
We were born in the early 80s. Oh, big whoop. That's like 4 years or something.
Alright, I may be losing track of time.
I don't, because like, I've been like teaching people who were like born in the 90s. I'm like, what? Like, how have you... What do you mean? It's like, I was born in like 92. You're like,
wait, what?
92. I was like in high school. It was like, when you talk about, I went to see Jurassic Park in the cinema, and they were like, I was like 1 when that came out, and you're like, God, you've grown up in a world where there were no films without CGI.
Yeah, you could watch something without 3D.
Yeah.
Fucking 3D.
And start on that.
Did you see Back to the Future when it hit the cinemas again?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
No.
What was that?
But there's the Prince Charles anyway, who like play them all back to back down in London. We need to go. So they do things like that. They like play all the Indiana Jones back to back and stuff.
Oh, I'd love to see Raiders on a big screen.
Yeah, we should go. I'll keep an eye out. I'm sure they're doing it again very soon.
There's plenty of cheap accommodation down there.
Well, yeah. We just go down on the train, watch a load of films and come back. I'm glad to see you're looking a lot better. Still a bit pale though. Oh, he's a scientist.
Yeah, he looks like one.
Yeah, just a lot like a scientist.
Yeah, because again, the screen crop. You didn't see that he was taking the mick out of someone in the background.
The guy on the roller skates. Yeah. Oh, the Twinkie bit. It's the bit with the Twinkie.
Yeah. You know when they said they weren't making Twinkies anymore?
Yeah.
I got terrified that was actually going to stay, that they were never going to have Twinkies again. And
I know.
there were going to be so many old films which people wouldn't understand what the Twinkie
But then,
reference was.
old Twinkies will keep. We know that from Die Hard. They don't.
Yeah,
they have like
they're
a
not
half-life
edible.
of about 1 million years. EPA? What does he want? Yeah. Although it's the cigarette again, it's just amazing.
I know, they're everywhere.
What does he want? I don't know. All I know is I've been working 4 weeks without a break, and you promised me you'd hire more help.
See,
Someone with your capabilities have no problem finding a job in the service industries.
I prefer this version of Janine to the one that appears in the sequel.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she's just
I like it.
utterly fed up with her life. Really.
Oh, Walter Peck.
Ugh. Did he ever play a role where you didn't want to punch him in the face? Every film he was in Die Hard as well, and he wanted to stamp on his neck.
Jerk in that as well,
he wanted
yeah.
to stamp on his neck. He got typecast as a dick.
I heard him interviewed a couple of years ago, and there was a whole thing where he said this role just made his life a living hell, because he said like cars would drive down the street and kids would lean out the window and it's like, "Hey, dickless!"
Yes, this has become my life.
Brilliant. Thanks for that. Only this man has no dick. It's like an action man down there. It's just like a pair of plastic pants. Flesh-coloured pants.
Look, I don't really understand what Pete's beef was with him, really.
He's an authority figure.
Yeah, just
I think
against
it's
that.
instantly that. It's just like he causes all... It's like Peter Venkman screws it all up. He's got this wonderful thing that he's created, but he can't maintain it because of who he is.
Yeah, he's a
He's a
twat.
destructive character. Like, all he has to do is show the guy the basement. There's nothing down there. The guy will sign off on it and it'll be fine. But no.
Yeah.
No.
You got to make an enemy of the government. Yay!
Yeah.
Well, this bureaucratic arsewole. Yeah.
Yeah. Just looking for a reason to shut you down as it is.
He wants to justify his existence,
Curious
so
to
he picks
know
on this
what
new
it is
company.
you actually do here. You go get a court order. I'll sue your ass for wrongful prosecution. At just the wrong moment. Like 2 seconds before the apocalypse.
Well, he causes the apocalypse, more or less.
There's a sign for the apocalypse.
The Twinkie.
This is a sign. That represents the normal amount of psychokinetic energy in the tri-state area.
How many pounds was it that it weighs?
I can't remember, it's a lot. It's like 95 or something. It's like 100 feet long and weighing approximately 95 pounds. It's a big Twinkie.
That's another classic line. That's a big Twinkie.
How's the grid holding up? Not good, Pete. Tell him about the Twinkie.
You see, I was never quite sure how this containment unit
Wait
works.
for it.
Is it just a red thing that's bolted on the wall?
Well, in the animated series...
Or does it go right into the wall?
In the animated series, it's like another dimension.
Oh yeah, I know it's another dimension, isn't it?
Like,
but is that thing just a device that's sort of mounted on the wall, or is it something? Is there something further behind?
I always
the
imagined
wall?
that there was something further behind,
because
but I don't
they
know.
bought the building as it was. They didn't make any
Yeah.
renovations themselves. I think it's
Well,
just
they
a wall
built that
mounted
into
thing.
it.
I always thought
They've
it was just
obviously
a wall mounted
built
thing.
that because it didn't come with like a ghost holding device.
No,
this
obviously.
building would be perfect because it comes with a pre-installed ghost storing device.
That's not what I mean.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're
No,
gonna,
I don't like this, but
You see, this bit didn't scare me. I was never scared by this bit.
weird.
Yeah, it's weird,
The
but
heck
it's not
is that? It's
scary.
like the first time I see that, it's like, what the heck is that?
Tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe.
Oh, hi,
tiptoe.
Dana.
Does he just stand beside the door?
Yeah, totally. Does.
He
It's
doesn't
like he's
have
right
anything else
there
to
when the
do.
door opens. He's just there. John Candy was originally going to be cast.
Yes. Yeah, I read that. It wouldn't have been the same.
No,
At all.
Would. He's beautiful, Lewis Tully.
You need a really weedy guy. I mean, basically because it's the perfect contrast to Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah,
It's
he's
the whole
like
point.
8 foot
Which
tall.
is the whole point later on. Oh god, yeah. Imagine some of the later scenes between the two if it had been John Candy rather than what's his name?
It's the awkwardness.
Yeah.
Of it all. It's just wonderful. Don't do that thing where we can't remember people's names. We do this every time. We just sit there and go, oh, you know that guy with the arms and the face who's in that thing with that other woman who's got like hair and eyes and lips and shit. Like, oh yeah, that thing.
I'm terrible with names.
This actually looks way better at night. That skyline looks awesome. And I'll admit that the bit where you just see like the faces and stuff coming through the door, and she just goes, "Oh shit!" and then it rips through the chair.
Are we talking about the room in general? It looks better when it's half lit.
Yeah, and then this sequence that comes up now is genuinely scary.
Yeah,
when he just rips out the chair and grabs it, and then pulls her into the light.
Gropey hands.
Yeah. Yeah, just go for everything.
Yeah, I go for everything you're not supposed to touch.
Yeah, you're supposed to... Right, can you imagine how did they brief him? When he come out of the chair...
Because there's one hand...
Just grab her and it's like, oh, where's the breast? There it is.
Well, no, there's
I'm
one
latched on.
There's one hand that seems to hesitate.
Yeah.
Thinking, where can I put this in a
that is scary.
Yeah, certainly when you...
That is freaky as hell. And then you look over and you see like the face pushing through the door.
Is it the face or is it a claw? I can't remember.
I think there's a bit of everything in there.
Yeah, this is a...
What is that? What the hell is that?
That... see, this one. It didn't know what... That last one.
Well, in fairness, it's coming up between her legs.
Yeah. So
you're like, where am I? We're safe. We're not going to get me punched in the face later. I bet Sigourney Weaver's got a good right hook on it. He's like, which way was I facing?
You see, Ghostbusters
and then
is
this awesome bit of music.
Yeah,
and I always thought the doorway bit looks like a garage door. I always think I should just roll up.
It doesn't.
It's happening the other universe behind it.
Yeah, the Ghostbusters are right there. You hear a little bell go, and then the door goes up and goes is there.
Originally it was going to be Ivo Shandor. That's what he was going to look like. Gozer was going to look like an architect. Ivo Shandor, you know, the guy who built the building.
Yeah.
He set up a little cult in the 20s. Let me guess. Gozer worshippers. No studying. You think it's too warm in here for the brie?
I'm going, Lilith.
How can you possibly have someone that's that socially inept? Just barking on about everyone's problems.
You've met me.
Yeah,
We've met each other.
You don't introduce someone and then relay all of their personal financial problems to the people you're introducing them to.
Oh, do you not?
No,
I regularly
not
do.
usually.
It's my form of thing. Oh, look, it's on the coats.
You see, I think that's why those the supposedly scary devil dogs aren't scary. It's because he's so dismissive of them in that scene.
It's scary. He didn't see it. It's scary till he becomes one, and then you're like, oh, that's really undermined it now.
I think that's a little worse because
the keymaster of Gozer.
Says here his name's Lewis Tully, lives on Central Park West.
Imagine if his driver.
I love that woman that comes out. This bit, I'll say is scary. Where you see the dog run across the road,
and they're only visible to like people he's chasing or whatever. They can be seen. Yeah, because everyone else is seeing it at this point. But then, like, nobody notices it through the window of the restaurant, and I just don't understand.
Well, it's comedy. That's why.
Still makes no sense.
It doesn't. No, that's the point. It's a comedy moment. That bit. It's done for laughs, not horror. It's done so you can have that sliding down the window effect.
But it still makes no sense.
Well, it's just to prove that he's this insignificant guy that these toffs don't give a rat's ass about.
Yeah, it's true.
Let me in.
Somebody let me in.
I mean, think about it. He looks just like a bum, doesn't he? Let me in.
In that shirt, this horrific shirt.
I didn't realise quite how shiny it was.
I know. It's amazing what you notice when the sound's off.
So you slide down the window. No one cares.
Oh, well, that's over with. Carry on talking. The threat has gone. Random member of an 80s band talking to the cop.
Yeah,
somebody brought a cougar to a party and it went nuts.
What must it have been like to walk around New York in the 80s if there's just random people like that? Is that just a movie or was it really that?
No, it's just that's what the 80s looked like in New York. It just looked like a massive Depeche Mode video. Are you the keymaster? No.
Not that I know of. There's a sudden switch in the look on her face. Oh.
No. Try it again. I love it. It's just like it's like a video game.
Try it again.
Try another approach.
It's the same person, you
Yeah.
moron.
I'm a friend of his. Said I could meet him here. You know, you should have picked up the place a bit if you thought you were having company. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, someone.
Yeah, you'd sort of look around and think, yeah, something's amiss here. I'm leaving. I'm going to go get my mates.
That's the way Pete doesn't get it. He's just like, oh, you know, the keymaster and that. It's like, maybe we should get the two of them together. Egon's like, I think I would be extraordinarily bad.
Gatemaster, keymaster, gatekeeper, there's a clue there.
Yeah.
Why haven't you picked up on this? Doctor.
Dr. Moron. Just knocked her up with 300 cc's of Thorazine. She's going to take a little nap.
There is no Dana, only Zula.
So awesome. I love how he's actually tempted as well.
Yes. Come on, no, I can't.
No, I really shouldn't. I could no. Well, maybe.
You're quite clearly psychotic. Stop trying to upset and disturb.
It's the weird breathing she does now. It's the sort of dog monster.
Pant like a dog.
It's just the ghost coming more to the surface, and that's really quite lovely.
I wonder what she sounded like.
Singing voice. What do you mean? That's her voice. That's Sigourney Weaver's voice.
She didn't actually do that, did she? It must have gone through a couple of filters or something.
No, that's just her voice.
What, she didn't put that on. That's Foley artist work. You're doing it again.
It's so easy.
I know.
You believe everything I say.
Well, you usually know shit.
I don't know shit.
Usually.
I really don't know anything.
Well, you blag it well.
I just repeat things I read somewhere else.
What, someone said Sigourney Weaver talks like that?
Yeah.
You
No,
don't.
I don't know. I just thought it would be funny to say it.
I mean, it's got to be a nod to
I'm
the...
throwing doubt on everything else that I'm saying.
When did The Exorcist come out? Because that's got to be a nod to it.
The Exorcist, that was well in the 70s.
Yeah.
It's way before this.
So that was obviously a nod to The Exorcist, that bit.
I would have thought so, yeah. Well, generally, all this... When you think about it, The Exorcist kind of laid the ground rules for weird stuff that ghosts do in films.
Well, it cemented the tropes.
Yeah, it totally did. All the floating off the bed and the head twisting around and the changing voices and all
This
that
is
stuff.
what possessed people
Yeah,
do.
this is what they do.
This is the rule book, you will follow
the
it.
rules.
Anyway, I'll tell you who's lost his shit.
Wow. That guy's, yeah, no longer playing with a full deck.
Well, what kind of demon has possessed these two characters? Because Dana doesn't recognise the same person twice in a row, 2 seconds apart, and he's trying to have a conversation with a horse.
They're not the best demons in the world, are they? Well, they are dogs. It's like, how smart is a dog?
Are they ghosts or are they trans-dimensional creatures?
Oh, I don't know. What are we getting into now? We're discussing the made-up science of this thing.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get a bead on what's going on. When you actually break it down.
I don't know. They're big demon dog things that guard the gateway between worlds. And then they sleep together and that opens the vortex. Because he's got a key and she's got a lock.
Yeah, that's a bit of a kick in the teeth for Pete, actually. If the only person that gets any in this film is Charlie.
Yeah, but he doesn't remember. Which is just like, it's brilliant. It's like he spends his entire life wanting to sleep with her and then can't remember what he does. It's like, it's absolutely awesome. Although, would you want to? Because like, you'd remember being a demon. And then, oh no, because they do it when they're human and then they become dogs. Okay, so she's dog. picked up this guy, and now we don't know what to do with him. So we'll put a colander on his head.
Yeah, it's a colander in this one, and then in the sequel it's underpants that they put on their heads.
Oh, yeah.
It's wired up with stuff. Do they not have anything else that you can mount wires on? Do they just find shit that's lying around and
Yeah,
say, let's put this
it's
on
all
our
to
head?
do with how it, transmits electrical waves.
I'm sure that's how Egon would
Other-
describe it. I think they just find stuff lying around and think, yeah, we'll put some wires in this.
Those look clean. They'll do.
They use whatever's to hand. He's that distracted. Yeah, Egon's a proper mad scientist.
He is. You've got to be to get that hair. How does it stay up like that?
Gel. Lots of gel.
You say that. I honestly, I went to college with a guy who looked just like him. The thing was, he was a massive fan of this film as well, so he'd do lines from it and everything, and he looks just like him, and his hair and everything.
Well, I guess
And his hair just did that. It just had that much body, it would just do that.
I guess
It's just like...
I guess if you look at as unfortunate as Egon does, yeah, you'd want to actually play it up a bit.
That's a bit harsh.
What?
He's not an unattractive man. This is getting weird. This is going down some kind of avenue that I'm not sure I want to go down.
But he's a geek, though. I mean, as a kid, did you aspire to be Egon?
I kind of wanted to be Ray. I like Ray.
Actually,
He's a nice middle ground. He's
Actually-
a little bit zany like Pete, and he's a little bit scientific like Egon. Egon's the extreme of the nerddom, and Pete's just completely the other way. Pete's just like a bit of a dick.
now that I sort of look back on it, I never actually wanted to be any of the Ghostbusters. I never actually thought, yeah, I want to be this character, I want to be that character. I wanted to live in the world of the Ghostbusters, but I never wanted...
I think you're probably right.
I mean,
there,
there's other films where I sort of look at where I sort of really like the mad scientist character.
Yeah.
Like Back to the Future, I love the Doc. He's the main character.
It just, in fairness, it just made me want to do that job more
Yeah.
than anything else. I was like, I want to do stuff with ghosts, which is stupid because it scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
And the idea of ever encountering anything like
But
that.
it looks
was
fun
just
in this, that's the
scary
thing.
me. I've seen a few weird things happen over the years, and I've always run the other way. Just go, oh my god,
but I've seen weird,
run away!
I've seen weird stuff, but it ends up being explained logically.
It's the awesomest bit.
Well,
the entire
talk
movie.
between...
Yeah, just the bit between Winston and Ray in the car.
Yeah, but Ray's talking about stuff that's serious, and he's talking about, well, he's trying to have a theological debate with him.
Yeah, I know, it's lovely. It's a beautiful scene. And this roof cap's made of a tungsten and magnesium alloy.
You don't get scenes like this in a film anymore, where it's just two guys talking about stuff. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, because everything's got to have effects in it. now. It's like
outside-
you can't have a film
yeah.
that's just written.
The
It's
only-
just dialogue.
the only person that really does it is, or still does it, is Quentin Tarantino, and he's become rubbish at it.
Yeah. He's become a parody of himself, which is the problem.
Yeah.
It's like, this is probably the creepiest scene, isn't it? I'm not necessarily the scariest or anything like that, but it adds so much, like, material to it, and it really gets under your skin, this scene. It's really quite...
It's a proper horror scene.
Yeah.
In the sense that it sort of it starts leaning towards the direction of where the film's going to go.
And it's like a Ray's expression and stuff, and they're like,
I mean, even they creep themselves
yeah.
out talking about it.
I think it's because you can relate to it. I think everybody's had those conversations where you tell each other a ghost story or something like that, and then you suddenly realise that you're kind of just alone in the house.
A bit scared now.
And you've been like, should we just put the TV on or something?
Yeah, it's something
So
to
I
distract.
need some other sound other than like our breathing and the wind outside.
I'll tell you what, I watched a horror movie with my mum a while back,
Yeah.
and straight after that she wanted to put on Finding Nemo.
Yeah. It's like,
I want
okay.
something happy now.
Oh, I tell you, I did that the other day with Whitechapel.
Oh,
Watched like one of the episodes of Whitechapel and just went, let's put like the Goonies or something happy on. Let's do that. Yeah, should we do that? Yeah. I don't want to go to bed quite yet. Let's watch like a cartoon or something.
I love the march that goes with Peck here. He sort of gets his own little theme tune for a second as he and his henchmen come in. You need the proper paperwork. There, I have it. Now, get out the way.
You need like a court order or a writ or something. Oh, a minute, you can't come in here. I've seen TV. I know how this works. I love that. It's such a brilliant line. I've seen TV. I know how this works. You can't come in here without a court order or a writ or something. And then he reels all off that spiel about it, and she's like, go right ahead.
It's the electrician guy in the background that I feel the most sorry for. It's like, this is his first day on the job.
I love the way they all fight amongst themselves, and
Yeah.
it's just like, I've been to New York, it's like that.
But this electrician...
It's like that, they all hate each other.
Yeah, but this electrician guy, he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't even look like he could change a fuse. And he's
Well,
looking
he
at
tries to defend himself as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Because he just goes, I've never seen anything like this, and
And
I
he
don't
gets
really feel
bullied
comfortable
into
kind
it.
of, you
he
know,
gets
touching
bullied
anything.
into it by Peck, this total prick.
You know, if he gets in the way, you can just arrest him. You do your job, pencil neck.
I'll do
I'll
mine.
do mine. Shut it off. You know,
He's a total bureaucrat. He
Don't-
gets someone else to do something.
Really
So that he covers his
know
own
what I'm
arse.
doing. Like, just flip the switch, Ego. Don't be a jerk. Is that again? You can arrest him. There you go. The pencil neck bit. Like, shut it off.
It's like the cop's so angry that he's got to deal with this crap. Everyone starts
You can
heading
never
towards the
swing
door.
like it. Run away.
There's something brilliant about an old klaxon.
That's not good, right?
Oh,
That's not a
shit.
good siren, right? And then bricks start coming out the wall and stuff. So that tells you there's something behind it. Look,
Well,
must be a whole chamber.
Well,
or
the thing
something
is,
behind
that's what that implies. That's what that implies, but I don't think that's the case. I think it's just this thing mounted on the wall.
No.
It sort of just becomes a portal.
No. You're wrong. There's like a thing behind there.
Well, whatever it was, it's blown a hole in the
Yeah,
roof.
big hole in the world. And then popcorn's raining down for some reason. Where are those people stood? There's nobody there. When it cuts back wide, there's nobody stood in front of the building.
Well,
Whereas there's like a crowd and fire engines and
It's
everything.
very hard to do a matte painting with all that stuff.
Well, it's only the roof that's matted in. The rest of it's real. That's how matte paintings work, Phil. So you have action and then there's a little bit of negative space. I just never understood why there's popcorn raining from the sky. It's exactly what it looks like. It's like, what is that? Popcorn falling down from the sky. Oh shit, we lost it.
This is the
The
only...
only bit where Egon loses
it,
nuts.
yeah. He goes mental.
He just flips out. You mother! Just
It's
lays
like,
into
of
it.
course my machine works. You ruined...
Yeah, you broke it, you jackass. The Stay Puft marshmallow thing on the wall in the background's lovely. I added that in on the painting.
I mean, throughout being a kid, I always thought that Stay Puft was a proper brand.
I know, it's because it's so convincing how they weave it into the world.
Well, it appears everywhere, but really subtly.
Yeah, it's lovely. That's what you call foreshadowing. As I say, when something weird about this, apparently, you know the bit where they end up in jail
Yeah.
and they apparently...
It's a proper Cthulhu thing, that.
Yeah. There's like...
I'm sorry, I've got to point out this. That's the scary... look at that!
Yeah.
You don't see anything vaguely like that in the sequel.
It's horrific, a proper... Yeah.
Sorry, you were saying when they're in the jail?
Yeah, when they're in the jail, apparently, like, legend has it that the jail itself is actually haunted, and they actually lost a whole reel of film, just came out blank, and a load of weird stuff happened while they were filming it, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of weird noises and things went on, and this whole reel that they shot just came up erased for no reason at all. It's just kind of spooky.
Convergence on Spook Central.
Yeah. Awesome bit where the front of the building just blows out.
I think that sort of light show bit where everything's going through is a bit cheesy.
Oh, I love that. It's one of my favourite bits. I like the music and everything. It's awesome.
It does feel very 80s, that.
That's probably why I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is it, the jail.
I love the way he's trying to talk his way out of it.
Yeah,
I'm
how
not
could I
with
work
these
there when I
guys.
didn't even know these guys?
His personality seems to have changed in the second one as well.
I love Winston.
He's brilliant in this, Because he's even more of he's even more of a disbeliever than Pete.
Skeptic, pessimist,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, well, he's the voice of reality. He's the audience.
He's
That's
there.
who
He's
Winston's
there. He's
character
there as a
is.
job. He's literally there.
Well, he's just the audience because like everybody else has got like a background in this stuff, so he asks the questions that the audience need one answer, and in plain English, like what the hell is going on? Some mouldy Babylonian god is going to drop in on Central Park West and start ripping up the city. Sumerian, not Babylonian. Oh yeah, big difference.
I love the way the fellow convicts sort of get completely caught up in the ghost story.
It's like,
Just sort of
this sounds
gather
really
around.
interesting. These guys are nuts. This is great. This is the best thing that happened in here ever. Something good, for goodness sake. Whoa.
This is also the most.
Somebody's coming.
If this is what American jails are actually, holding cells are actually like, I'd be terrified to get locked up.
It's the drunk tank.
Well, yeah,
it's
but
that whole thing, just shove you in there till the morning.
Yeah, but look at all the stuff they've been locked up with. They've been allowed to take the little blueprints and plans in. Everyone seems to have a belt. Can you imagine that in a UK holding cell? They take everything off you.
Yeah. That's just a free for all in America, obviously.
I
It's
know.
like if they survive the night, we'll let them go.
Yeah, it's trial by fire.
Well, it thins out the overburdened jail population.
Let them take each other out.
Yeah. We haven't got room to put them in, so we'll just let them beat each other.
There we go.
Especially in the 80s, where it's probably somebody's coming.
Yeah, do you think Pete sort of gradually loses it over the course of this film? Because he starts off fairly level-headed.
Bill Murray was allowed to ad-lib most of his lines for this, apparently.
But it's just he seems more and more deranged with each scene now. Now that I'm sort of looking at it.
He has this weird sort of attitude where he's like, he doesn't believe and he doesn't not believe. He's just like, fuck it, whatever.
Hey, it's a cop from Die Hard.
Yeah. He's always a cop. That guy's in everything and he's always a cop.
That's typecasting.
Yeah.
God, he's the biggest overactor in history.
Don't pan all the way up because the top doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And that'd be really hard to mat in a move-in shot. We can't do that. Room with a view, huh?
Yeah.
Really opened this place up. It's airy. I like it. It's good.
I really wish you hadn't said room.
Use of space.
I really wish you hadn't said room with a view when she's got her legs spread open.
God, we're gonna have to put an age rating on that.
No, again, you see, a kid won't
get it.
Kid won't get it.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. It's like straight over his head. I love the fact that the thing to the roof is exactly where the fridge was. That makes so much sense. It's beautiful.
Was it behind the fridge?
Yeah.
Ah.
The doorway's right behind where the fridge is. It's awesome.
The mayor wants to meet you.
Absolutely love this bit, like with the where they get like the military convoy and everything, and the piece of music.
It's like, what else do you
Lassie
need?
saving the day is just absolutely beautiful use of a piece of music. It's just brilliant. Oh, cats and dogs raining from the sky.
Mass hysteria. Yet another classic line, a memorable one-liner.
So many, so good. I get told off for misquoting that now, but I just a thing. Oh God. You'll have to talk to Phil. Otherwise it'll just be dead.
We've lost Chris for a second. He will be back. No one is prepared for what's being unleashed on New York at the moment. Just reciting it. And of course, oh yay, we're saved. It's the clergy. I think the mayor might be Catholic. Possibly.
Classic bullshit.
I love that line. I think hearing these guys talk about the end of the world might actually make me trust them less. They seem a little too enthusiastic. And he still sounds like a game show host. We'll go to jail quietly, we'll enjoy it. He suddenly becomes the proper businessman here that he wants to be right the way through the film. Sweet talks the mayor into going his way. Yes, say just the right thing. You don't believe him, do you? Get him out of here. What? No, no! We need the army from you, that's what we... Have you heard of overkill?
Just the right amount of bed.
Apparently this entire... Well, not these guys, but the crowd on the other side of the street were all just bystanders. I mean, all these religious nodding people thinking it's the end of the world, they're obviously the actors. But these guys, in the background there, they're all actual people that are just here to see the film.
It's New York, you're gonna get a crowd no matter what you do.
Yeah. I mean, Bill Murray and that, they were famous before this thing kicked off. Let's see this bizarre film, Ghostbusters, starting to be filmed out here. See, that's an actual crowd.
With some actual security.
Which probably means those are real cops holding them back. I mean, just the way he's sort of introducing Ray there, that feels so like authentic, like. There was some award ceremony recently where I think it was Bill Murray was getting an award for his cameo in the film Zombieland.
Yeah.
And he came on dressed as a Ghostbuster. Dressed with everything on. Proton pack and everything. And the crowd went absolutely apeshit over this. They loved it. I think we might be on a soundstage now. Oh.
How much do the packs weigh?
I have no idea. They usually, I mean, with props like that, they usually have two versions. They've got the bit that they throw around in action scenes, and then they've got the bit where everything sort of lights up, or you see stuff illuminated.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like hero props and that.
Yeah. Oh, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back.
Thank you.
Illumination.
Illumination.
I can see. Just to make sure was relaying the correct information. The crowd opposite the building.
Yeah.
That was a real crowd, just a random crowd of people that had queued up to see.
I guess so. Yeah. As far as I'm aware.
I'm fairly sure it was.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't relaying the wrong information.
Someone will correct us. We're talking out of our ass. Oh, the morning after the night before.
Who hasn't been there?
You wake up next to that guy.
It's a look of disbelief on his face rather than anything.
It's a grin on his face. A sloppy grin on his face.
You won't believe what just happened.
Right. It's got to be seen in widescreen just for shots like that. It's phenomenal.
I mean, I think one of the first copies I had of this was probably off the telly.
Yeah.
In fact, most of the movies I had as a kid were filmed off the telly.
Yeah, a lot of my experiences, I remember seeing the films, I rented them.
Yeah, but
so I saw them in the proper aspect ratio, and then I'd watch them on TV, or have them copied off TV, and they usually cut to bits, and you get this weird thing where you're just like, I swear to God, I remember that scene, and it's not in it, and then for years it gets to the point where you're just like, I don't know now whether I imagined it or not, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then you eventually get, when they brought them out on DVD, they were the proper cuts. And it's a prime example was Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, with all the horror.
Yeah, with all that stuff. I was I swear to God, I remember this being scarier. And then I watched the DVD version, I was like, holy shit, this is what I remember as a kid.
There's something a bit wrong with the lighting occasionally on this, because the exterior shot that we just had there, everything still seemed to be in daylight, whilst there's this inky blackness covering New York in other shots.
Yeah.
And then when they go upstairs, it seems to be complete night.
It's because it's ghosts, so the laws of physics
that's the excuse for ghosts.
That's the one I'm going with. Yeah, it's night time there, and then, never mind, who cares?
I do like the sky though. It feels proper.
Yeah, what do they use for that? You told me this.
Is it cloud chambers?
Yeah.
Oh, what? They had some sort of vacuum sealed thing, and they.
You better explain how this works. I ain't got a goddamn clue. You did tell me how they worked.
Just.
It's a cloud chamber.
Put more liquid in. Something like that.
Oh right, so it's
like ink or something like that.
Being pushed through liquid. Ah right.
Something like that.
Paint through a tank or something. Yeah.
And then they just record it in.
I know they used that technique for the planet in Alien. It's all paint and stuff to get the clouds on the surface of the planet. Oh, Ray Harryhausen would be proud of that. Something beautiful about the fact that there's stop motion.
Well, stop motion's always been creepy.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, that's why Tim Burton wanted the Martians and Mars Attacks to be stop motion. Think of how awesome Mars Attacks would have been if they'd been stop motion, as opposed to CG. They did a good.
We are your friends.
We come in peace. We come in peace.
So weird.
Yeah.
It's a girl. Well, kind of. Have you seen photos of her now?
I don't think I want to.
Dear God, she's terrible.
I don't think she
looks pretty frightening there. But
well, I mean, think how.
See her now and just oh my God.
What is it? 30 plus years now.
Yeah.
Making her what, 50, 60?
Oh, go for it, Ray.
Who came up with that costume anyway? I want her wearing bubbles.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's so weird. It's just.
Yeah, you were asking how Egon gets his hair like that. How the hell does she get her hair like that?
She's a ghost. And look like it can look like whatever it wants to look like.
I want to look like what? I want to look like Wolverine.
Yeah, I want to look like an 80s hooker. With weird pet dog things.
That is all she's wearing, bubbles and heels.
Somebody asks you if you're a god. Say yes. That is a hell of a drop.
You see that's
like, there's no way they could possibly see that. Everyone's like, oh my god, and then it cuts to the wide shot and it's like the rooftops are speck. It's like, what have they got, binoculars?
But that was the other bit that scared me in this film when I was a kid. The concept of being pushed off something that high.
Yeah, that's pretty freaky.
That scared me a hell of a lot more than any of the crappy little devil dogs.
Look at that matte painting behind him though. That's like apparently it was one of the biggest sound stages ever. Like they've been used up to this point, and the most lights used on a set ever at that point as well, because like all that, the whole staircase lit up and everything. It's like it had thousands and thousands of bulbs in it.
They would have needed the dry ice that's pouring down there just to cool the place.
Yeah. It's like there's cars moving in the background and everything. They've like little lights of cars, and you can see taxis driving about and all sorts of shit.
Not supposed to move.
That's the weirdest shot ever.
What, where she's going?
When she does that double flip, it's just like a weird big flat painting with the edge of someone else.
It's meant to be some sort of roof because she's coming out of this sort of stone building,
but it doesn't match up with anything. And it always feels like the weirdest shot. To
if everything beyond the threshold of that door is another dimension, you expect it to be sort of clouds. and stuff.
Everything's just like it's just a big black void with clouds above it. So why isn't it? Just doesn't seem to match up with anything. Oh, we neutralised it. Yeah, total particle reversal.
We got the tools. We got the town.
It's Miller time.
The last couple of minutes of this is just an endless series of quotes.
This looks extraordinarily bad.
Goes the Gozerian, goes the Destructor. Volga Saltra, the traveller has come. Choose and perish.
What does it mean, choose?
A question I always asked myself as a kid was, how would you empty your mind of anything?
You can't, because it's like when someone turns on a tape machine usually and goes say something into it.
That's when your mind goes blank.
So you can actually see cars moving in that shot there. There's like a wide shot, you can see little lights going down the roads and stuff. It's really, really well done. That's the monstrous set. May just green screen it all now.
Well, I mean, that's the only way you can tell it is a painting these days.
Yeah, because there's no matte lines.
Well, no, it's not even that. It's because of the way it's shot. It's shot in a particular way that...
Like a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, these days they would make sure you'd have some sort of aerial shot.
I was about to say, now we'd be flying around this 360 at 90 miles an hour with a camera, and then it would go like through Ray's ear and out the other side.
Yeah, it's less about the...
If Michael Bay was directing it, you know.
God. Michael Bay was directing it, this would be 3 cheerleaders.
Yeah, it's true, they'd be four girls in tiny little costumes. The camera would be on the ground looking up.
Being filmed by Michael Bay directly.
Yeah, because he wants to like maintain the artistic purity of his vision and get the upskirt shots just right.
He's just a porn director.
Well, he was.
No, was he a porn? No, yes, he did direct a couple of things.
Where he started out,
but it was music videos that was the transition between that and films.
Oh, I tried to think of something that could never possibly destroy us. Something from my childhood. It's the Stay Puft.
And this is where things get monumentally surreal. I mean, it's scary and supernatural, and then he just goes, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest WTF moments in film.
Exactly. It's
like,
just brilliant.
It's a giant marshmallow man.
They talk about the writing of it, and they said that like they wanted to work up to that point where you just buy it. Because like it gradually ramps up in its stupidity to the point where you just accept it.
I just think it works.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, cool. It's a 40-foot marshmallow man.
It's just this is sort of where you join Pete Venkman's level of belief in the world.
Yeah, it's like,
all right, I'll run with that.
This isn't how I saw us going out, killed by a 100-foot marshmallow man. Ray's gone bye-bye, Egon. What have you got left? I'm terrified beyond the capacity for rational thought.
I've actually used
compressed
that line.
Sand, apparently.
That?
Yeah. Because water doesn't scale, so they couldn't use water. It's compressed sand.
So that was a shot down onto the street and then firing...
it's a model. That whole thing's a model. with him walking along it, the street and everything. But to get the fire hydrant to look the right scale.
They used clever.
Sand, yeah, because it does look awesome. You're like, holy shit, that looks.
See
great.
that there? He looks genuinely evil and scary there.
It's Gozer. It's just that's the form.
The angry look on the face. It's just.
I'd be pretty pissed off if
Yeah.
someone had just set me on fire and I was in there.
You see, those are lightweight versions of the pack. I can see that.
Yeah.
You can see that they're the sort of action version where they're running around the place.
Yeah, because it is lit, but the lights aren't doing that whole cycle thing and all that stuff.
Well, you can just tell it looks like foam. just the texture looks different.
Damn it. That composite you did on your photo is brilliant. You can't tell that's fake. I thought you had one. It lines up so well.
Yeah, that pack was actually being worn by Bill Murray at an award ceremony, and I just thought that's the perfect angle, so I ripped it.
Brilliant.
But if you look closely at it, it is slightly a lighter shade than the rest of the picture.
Mm.
That's the only way.
Very good.
I was quite proud of that cheat. He's coming to get you. Bizarre sense of camaraderie, though.
Well, yeah, man, you're going to go through, turn the world practically, pull the world back through its own asshole.
Yeah.
It's essentially what it's doing.
But it's
reaching into another dimension, grabbing it, and then just pulling it all back inside out.
Point is,
So
it's
that
still
it
a
kinda
comedy film,
works.
and you don't expect that kind of thing to come along. It doesn't feel cheesy. Well, much. Oh! That's the one effect I don't like in this.
I love that though. Like,
oh,
when
what? The space melting, yeah.
That explosion's monstrous. It's just absolutely brilliant. And the ripple into the clouds is lovely. Hits the shockwave, hits the clouds. You just lie on the floor and open your mouth.
I don't know. Molten.
Said the bishop to the stripper.
Naturally, naturally, it's the arsehole that gets gunned.
Yeah. Said the bishop to the stripper.
Oh, it's not so
Oh, we really are going to have to put an age rating on that. That's awful.
Come on, what was the foam that they used? It looks like shaving foam.
I think it is, yeah.
That's a shitload of shaving
It's that
foam.
horrific line as well as I feel like the floor of a taxi cab. Yeah. Oh, God. This is awful. It's covered in white goo.
This is the bit where I sort of don't like Bill Murray for a second because he comes up perfectly squeaky clean.
Yeah, but
and
that's the joke.
no, but
though.
it just feels like Bill Murray said, "No, I don't want to be covered
Oh
in
no, it
this
just
stuff.
seems like that he found the only good place to hide.
I'm the star here. I don't want to be covered
He's
in
got
as
a little
much
bit on
stuff."
him. But that makes it though. The fact that he didn't get hit, I love that.
Isn't
Because
that
it would have
the
been...
joke? Because he always gets slimed.
Yeah, very true. That's such a good point. I totally
Actually, yeah, that
Every
is.
other time, he's the one who gets gunned.
And this is the one time he doesn't. It's like he's had enough.
Smells like barbecued dog hair. Oh, Vagman, I'm sorry.
It might just be because he's supposed to be conveying a little bit of emotion here, and being covered in
Can't see
foam
anybody
might have
else's
negated it a
face.
bit.
Never mind the fact they probably suffocate anyway. Well, they just stand there, you morons. Do something.
Help me.
Don't forget that little guy.
So they encased Sigourney Weaver in whatever it was that was.
I don't want to know.
I hope she wasn't claustrophobic.
Yeah. Ooh.
Still smouldering.
Yeah. Smoking dogs. The cool thing is there are loads of things like that on New York rooftops.
You just don't see them.
Yeah, when I was in uni, they used to have this fantastic book that I've tried for years to find and I can't get hold of it. And it was about 3 inches thick and about that, like nearly A3 in size. And where the hell did that come from? And it was just the photographs of all the stuff that's hidden on the rooftops in New York City. And there's all like temples and all these kind of crazy things that architects have just like snuck on rooftops.
Well, architects don't do that anymore.
Well, how would you know?
Well, look at the types of buildings that they build. They're these smooth structures. Again, this has to have been filmed in front. Yay, we've won! Again, this has to have been filmed in front of a group of people.
Yeah.
I like the way that Harold Ramis wasn't originally intended to appear as Egon. They
couldn't find anybody to do it because he knew how he wanted it done.
So he was just being a little too choosy about which actor to get.
I can't imagine anybody else playing that role.
No.
It's perfect. I always think it's such a shame that he didn't end up with Janine. I always think that kind of would have worked. Because they kind of go off together at the end and then they just forget about that for the second one. And she goes off with him.
Yeah.
TV series. Cartoon.
What about the cartoon?
It happens in there.
Does it?
Yeah.
Was there any explanation as to why it fails?
They probably wouldn't go into that kind of emotional thing in their
it was the 80s. It was the 80s. They might. Most series ran for like 1 million episodes back then.
Yeah, but they never touched on anything particularly poignant in a cartoon series back then.
No, you don't remember that they did. They might have done. And at the end, they all end up laughing.
Yeah.
Slightly too long at a joke that wasn't that funny.
Yes, it's something that references to the very start of the episode.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Slimer.
God, I hated that.
Freeze frame.
Yeah.
Then sometimes it cuts to the moral
Escape
message
mental
at the end.
patients just standing on the roof of a car.
Look, merchandising.
People selling t-shirts, yeah.
Already.
Get your Ghostbusters t-shirts, get them here. $5 a pop.
They saved the world, and then 5 seconds later, there's people selling
everything about New York.
It's like you had some sort of was it knockoff merchants standing beside the car, tracing the logo whilst they were up saving the world.
If they do save the world, we got this covered.
This is another bit which is quite scary. Yeah, there we go. Slimer. And that's Ghostbusters. We're not going to do this, are we? I'm not going to hum the whole thing.
No, we'll stop there.
All right, that's Ghostbusters then.
That was it, yeah.
Yeah.
It was good. The credits are rolling now. Classic use of white on black.
Yeah. I don't think we can really say much more about that.
There's not much else to say. I think we covered everything that you never wanted to know about the film, and a lot of opinion, and the Green Lantern.
And bizarrely enough, we don't quite know
well.
how that snuck in there.
I don't know either. Probably because we're watching a good film, and I wanted to talk about
a bad film. Anyway, I don't think we're going to do a commentary for Green Lantern anytime soon.
We could. That would be great. It'd be
Really?
great. Actually, it'd be great to watch some films that we hate.
I don't
Because
want
that
to
would be
waste
really
my time
interesting.
watching films that I hate.
It's not a waste of time because like the commentary would be hilarious.
No.
You better leave this on the end of the thing and let people vote. Because like people might actually comment.
I don't think we can put a vote
three.
function on this.
No, but I mean like they can write comments.
All right. If
Like all 3 people that bother to comment on these things, and the 4 people that watch it. 'Cause
All right.
one doesn't comment.
okay, we'll do that.
Watch it, 3
If there's a if there's a film that you think is a piece of crap, leave the title in the messages,
Yeah,
and we'll see if we can get around to it.
yeah. If we own it.
Although,
in fairness, you probably do. You own some appalling stuff.
I own quite a few. No, I think most of the films I own are quite good.
Yeah, that's it. You think they're good.
All right, what film of mine do you think is not good?
Oh, Jesus, I can't remember now, but I know you've got some howlers on your shelf.
I confess I own Barbed Wire.
There you go, see.
Yeah. All right. Should we leave it there?
I think Barbed Wire is a good place to leave it. Never shall it be mentioned again. Unless someone votes for it, of course.